What's up, folks? Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a great start to their week. I am looking forward to this episode. Hopefully, I don't start too much money. Waiting for my guest, Mr. Paul Tyler, to come on in a second. But in the meantime, man, we'll just chop it up. Tell you what the show's gonna be about. Like I said, I hope everybody's well. I'm doing well. A lot of great things going on. My man Paul just locked in. What's up, Paul, baby? I can't hear you yet, but I'm about to bring you on in a second after I do this quick intro. So tonight, man, tonight's show is a little different. Not a little different at all. I've broken this show up, kind of figuring this thing out. So tonight's show was supposed to have been done yesterday, but we had a football game yesterday, and I was exhausted, so I couldn't do it. Today is a great day because I got the time today. We didn't have practice because of the game yesterday. So I kind of pushed today's last night's episode to the day. But for moving forward, we're going to do the one-on-one conversations on Sundays, and we're going to have the convos, group conversation, a little livelier conversation on Thursday throughout the week, twice a week now, especially starting in August. We're starting to kick it off now. Moving forward, this Thursday, we got a dope show coming up for you called We Out of Order. And my co-host Clyde and my other co-host, Miss Kay Parker. So I'm excited about that one because I think that's really going to be an energetic show. Just talking about how, just relationships, love, marriage, friendships, whatever. Just, how we all kind of have an out of order perspective right now. That's what's throwing the world off. And but tonight show is called Baby Daddy. It's not totally what you're thinking about. We dive a little deeper tonight with my man Paul. When I bring him on, he's going to tell you a little bit about what he do. I let him introduce himself. He can tell you all that. It's my man. Also out there big in the community, out of Baltimore as well. So I'm excited about this show. This show isn't to bash. It's not to minimize women's role. We're not talking about the legit deadbeat dads out here that ain't giving no effort. We're not talking about that particular thing. We're talking about, what we talking about? That like stand-up guys that had a hard time or stand-up guys, just as far as, what does baby daddy look like to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you get out of that? Like, what does that say for you? So I'm gonna talk to Paul a little bit. Pick his brain. Of course, it's a mental health awareness platform. So, a lot of that shows that a lot of brothers, man, a lot of men, and in general, deal with. We handle the stress of being a father well, even outside of, right. And I think for me, the perspective of being a single dad is a lot harder than being a dad in a space where you have help, or you have the constant help of a significant other or a spouse. And we hear a lot about what women struggle about. We don't talk too much, about men's struggles in that space, too often. So I'm gonna like Paul got knocked off real quick. I'm gonna wait till he get back on here in a second, and we're gonna continue with the conversation. But like I said, it's not to bash anyone. It's not to bring down. It's not to bring shade, to throw shade. It's to give a real life perspective on, things that you don't normally hear the fellas talk about when it comes to being a dad, and some of the things that we deal with and the adversity that we face. Just giving a little bit of insight and transparency in what I deal with. I can start off to kick the conversation off by, saying that even though I was a young dad, I looked forward to being a dad, at that time. I kind of had the opportunity to do the things that I wanted to do and dreamed of that I wish I could have done with my dad. You know what I'm saying? So, but getting to the reality of it, it didn't pan out how I expected it to look. And, the things that were out of my control kind of messed me up in that space. So it got to a point where I really didn't enjoy being a father at one point. And it was difficult. And I hated saying that. And it wasn't nothing to do with my kids. It was nothing to do with, it was just the drama that came with it. The tension that was always there, early on as a young father, not really understanding life at that point, and trying to do the best that I could. So we just want to give a little bit of perspective tonight into, what that kind of looked like. Talk about some things that Paul do in the community, what he got going on. We about to hop into it. As y'all notice, I haven't been doing the spoken word poetry at the beginning. I haven't been showing music videos because I've been getting flagged for content and copyright violations, and a lot of the stuff wasn't copyrighted, except maybe the major platform artists. So I didn't know where it was coming from, so I just pulled it all together until we can intertwine the entertainment piece into our stuff. Having guests come on and speaking their own poetry, singing their own songs, performing, however they want to look like. However they want to do that, however it looks like to them. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my man, Mr. Paul Tolliver, on. He can go and introduce him. We can go ahead and get started. Let's dive in, fam. Paul, you coming on, dog? Here we go.
Yeah, what's up, man? I appreciate that, fam. I really do, bro. As y'all know, man, I'm Paul Tolliver here in Baltimore City. Coach. I teach Algebra 2. This is going on my 3rd or 4th year now. I'm in the community. I've been in the community for about 13, 14 years now with the youth. If it's coaching, mentoring, holding groups, and just really kind of giving the young men a good example to look up to, you know what I'm saying? So education, letting them know some of our young men, man, they just so turned away from education. So just giving them the understanding of trades. I went to a trade school here, certified drafter. I left my high school already certified in a lot of stuff that I wasn't even aware about. So one of the big things is the label, like baby daddy, man. When I was speaking up for rights of my sons, the number one thing I told the people is, look, I would need my black young sons to be looking up at their father, knowing black men can do these roles too.
Mm-hmm.
You get that's the most important thing, because coming up, man, we just look at it like 92% of the household is raised by the black woman. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we already think that certain things are inferior to them. Meaning, like, for me, I ain't even think that I should be kind of looking at black men coming up as role models and examples to kind of guide me through what I need. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Always look at conversations from women, kind of turn the older guys. But make a long story short, man, I'm in a school building. I've been coaching now for like 10 years at Maribel. Got a lot of guys, man. My coach there is still there, Nixon. I run a lot of black good men, and in the community, man, we pushing it. My agenda is to push it and make it look good. Yeah. The same drug dealers making it look good. The same way the rappers making it look good. We got to make what we're doing of positivity look good. So that's my belief. My whole lifestyle since I came back from college has just been me in the community, a research developer for the youth, and just partnering with schools and just coming up and figuring out things that we can do in the community, man.
Hey, bro, that's dope, man. You do a lot of good work out there too, man. The especially with the coaching tip, you got a DB training program. You want to mention that?
Yeah, damn, I can't leave that out. Definitely, y'all. I got DB Lamb, it's crazy now. We real active, real active, man. We got a lot of athletes we're working with. It was focusing just on defensive backs at first, and linebackers. That was the position I played at high school, college. I had like expertise in. But then, the receiver and the way that I coach, I was encouraged to kind of put other pieces on. We kind of formed the entire community, whereas though guys that are in college, they come back in the summer. We got a location working out. It's ninth grade, it's eighth grade. It's kind of like seeing what it looked like to be that. In our city, football is not something that is loved, but it's not marketed the right way where kids can get out of it, use it as a platform,
Facts.
We big with that. Also train speed at Disneyland. We are big influence in the city. And just got a lot of players that's like the mentality of it. And I ain't gonna lie, that's probably one of the biggest things about it, the mentality that we bring. Just letting them know we're not trying to pull them from their school. Hey, stay at your school, bro, and let's turn up at your school. Let's help you get better where you are. The number one thing about it is for us, it was development and mentorship.
Okay.
I was here playing in Baltimore City. It wasn't a lot of coaches that knew what they was doing.
Facts.
Then I come back with my knowledge. I'm like, they still don't know what they doing. That was the purpose of DB Land, man. I'm like, I got really start giving these tools to these young men. We're not getting them, But yeah, so that's big. We went to a couple of camps this year for the first time this summer.
I went to the one. What was the one y'all got busy at? Weeks ago.
Yeah, we went to the boy camp. Took over the whole boy camp. That was love.
Yeah.
So that was nice. That was nice, man. Yeah, definitely.
That's good stuff, man. Where you see this going? You want to throw goal in that?
Yeah. So my mentorship now, I have goal to goal. Goal to goal is basically helping young men get from one goal to the next goal. That part came me as an older life. Like my whole life has been getting over barriers, getting over humps, man, and just trying to be great. With so much oppression around me. So my thing was I was planting these goals. Like I gotta get this goal before I can step to the next goal. I used to think like there were so many things in my mind what to do. Once I slowed it down and started goal-orienting things, I was like, all right, I started accomplishing things. So I felt like, with the mental health, the mentoring, and just guiding and showing these young men how to deal with situations, showing them different interventions, ways that they need to deal with things. It was like, I can get these young men from one goal to the next goal. Like that was the whole model to get them to understand, no matter where they were. School, if it wasn't in school, out in the streets, trying to help young men get out of the streets, showing get this goal done from out of the street, and this goal will come, and then blessings will come, and this will come, So that's one of the things, man. So like you said, I can't even believe I'm not mentioning and giving myself credit as to what I'm doing, goal to goal and mentoring, DB Land. This is the first year that I kind of pulled away from my high school I coach at. I'm teaching in the building. Not only am I teaching in the building, man, I got a couple of things going on inside the building. So I'm like that's why I said my lifestyle is just solely around just advocacy for the youth.
Hey, bro, it's funny because that's the one thing we have in common. You know what I'm saying? Like we kind of built our lives in a way to cope, man, to kind of get back, kind of beat these kids what we wanted when we were younger. You know what I'm saying? So or what we needed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like. So that's dope, bro. You're doing a lot of major things right now, man. I'm proud of you, dog. Like, you keep it up, man. Keep grinding.
I appreciate it, man. You too. And it's funny you said that because we definitely, man, I remember when we first started connecting, it's like we was on the same mission with no help.
Yeah, facts, bro.
The biggest thing for me, and I'm good now, but the biggest thing was, all these celebrities get this help. You remember when Jay-Z helped Meek Mill, right?
Yeah.
And all that stuff that was going on for me, and I'm not knocking or taking anything away. It was like, I'm here in Baltimore City. I know a lot of black young men. I know a lot of things that we need, but
ain't nobody coming to you.
Don't go help Meek who can get his money for a look. Now, I'm not taking none of that away. I'm not trying to, but I ain't gonna lie, it's people like myself and you. Once I found, I'm like, damn, are you doing all this work in the community? Man, we gotta come together, man. Like, we need more support.
Yeah.
Me at overtime, I was like, forget the support. Let them celebrities and all these fake people that's really acting like they're helping, let them have a shine. I'm cool with being right in the trenches and
really working the dark. Let's work in the trenches. You know what I'm saying?
Dogs work, man. So that's kind of where I was with it. I just kind of was like, you know what? I'm not even going to be looking forward to these other people wanting to support. Even though we need more of it in our community, we need more of people like me and you getting supported.
Yeah.
Like, not to say it like that, man. These athletes, for example, just a small one. Athletes are out here put on platforms. They throw these camps. They ain't coming out here really having a camp with the kids. They just influencing this sport, right?
Yeah.
But what if you really had some people that is in the community already doing the work with these platforms? So,
but you know what though, bro? Like I agree with you, right? But the crazy thing about it, what I'm starting to see now, bro, is like there's a lot of people like us out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we're starting to gain momentum. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's one of the things where I'm like, all right, okay, this, like we all see it. You know what I'm saying? And you see more men coming back into a space, giving back, and whether it's coaching, coming through the school system, just checking on the kids and things like that. You see more fathers present in the school. You know what I'm saying? Like just coming in and having these meetings with teachers and things like that. And I know a lot of, like, even when I was in Baltimore, man, like I had like it was a good amount of fathers coming through checking on their kids. You know what I'm saying? Out here where I'm at too, a lot of the parents were single moms. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the things that you've seen. They were single parent households, right? But they had active fathers, what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And then you see the one dealing with the ones that we don't have, that don't have the dad. You kind of know by the behavior whose dad not in their household. You know what I'm saying? Or if there's some type of type of situation involving a man within that space of living. You know what I'm saying? But man, what gave you your passion, bro?
Man, that's a good question. Really coming from where I came from. So just coming up, man, and kind of like being in Baltimore, and my mom pushed school. So I was like heavy on sports. So you can see people grabbing me like, Paul, come on, come on. And it's like, all right, well, I got you. You the light, man. You got to get away from this that you're around, right? And it was like, get it. After a while, though, it was like, well, hold up. Why are they pulling me from my friends instead of helping my friends too? Yeah. They want me because they can take credit. Paul did his work. Yeah, he cutting up a little bit in class.
Yeah.
He's the mouth. He ain't disrespectful. We can work with him. He's great. Yeah. We got A's. It was like, but they really need to help.
Your homeboy be the smartest one, low key, like, bro. He's a mathematician. You know what I'm saying?
Like, y'all just gonna leave them because y'all ain't even gonna try. So my passion came from that. Passion came from sports. Like I said, I hate to say it, so much bad stuff that I was around. It gave me fire that helped when I got in the position I was in. I never was supposed to do nothing I'm doing, bro. My whole thing was to program computers and play football. I got to college. I went to the first black school down there. I got this stuff pumped into my head. I'm not going to lie. And then I started waking up and realizing, like, hold up. It's people like me that come from my type of communities who never go back, and the reason we stuck.
Facts.
So it's my responsibility to go back and do these things. All of this knowledge I got, I've been a teacher from the jump. Outside of me teaching in the class, that's what I learned who I was. I'm a teacher. I like to talk. I like to have these meetings. So my thing was, I need to go back and get his knowledge, man. I need to go back to my city, show these guys what we doing. While I was in college, I convinced people to come to school. I had people call, hey, Paul, I got a man named Nick down there, man. Can you look out for him? Hey, I got a friend named Malcolm, Paul. He coming to show. Like, it was on that. I was on call. Showing guys how to graduate from school. Showing guys, no, that ain't how we do this shit, man. Like, yo, let's get it. Get up for school, nigga. We going to class every day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was started in college.
Yeah. Where you go to college at, bro?
I went to Shaw University in Raleigh.
And my man. You play football there too?
Yeah, I did. You know it, Matt. Got a lot of good people, man. I'm linked with. My coach that was there, he at Winston-Salem now. Still linked with a lot of good players, man. I played with these guys turned up, you know what I'm saying? Jersey, Atlanta, all of the top people y'all saying on TV, they coach. You know what I mean? Jefferson, all them guys. But that's what gave me the fire, y'all. I just was looking back, and in my situation, like, at a young age, I felt like if you gave kids a great environment and guidance, I think they could do anything.
Facts, bro. Structure, a little bit of structure. Yeah.
I was around. I can't speak on too much about what I was around, yo.
Yeah. Facts.
Shows the shit that was positive. I tell people, you put this around kids, they gonna choose the right thing, yo.
Facts,
like they wasn't getting enough opportunities, yo. Y'all talking about the kid, this generation, nigga. What are we doing for this generation? Yo, what are we giving this generation? The generation ain't getting the guns and the drugs, bro. We putting it in their hands. The adults. Yeah. My motto is, that these children are the product of adults in their environment, bro.
Yeah, fact,
Blame.
bro.
That's where my fire came from. Yo, it was like, nah, dog. And then when I got out, it was like what I was getting, the feedback I got back from the youth was it was crazy.
Yeah, facts.
I thought I was gonna get pushback for me being firm, for me being on.
That's weird, ain't it, bro?
Yeah, but you hearing people who stuck in their ways. You hearing it from people who don't know how to connect with our youth. You hearing it from people too who in these positions of power.
Yeah.
But they look like, nah, but you're getting a whole section of this youth to follow you in a positive way. But the reason they reject us because we so push off on them. Or y'all just, that's why you so quick to do that instead of have a convo with them.
We're so convicting, bro, as adults. We convicting kids, you know what I'm saying? But you're right, man. Like, and it is. I think this is a lack of being in touch. I forgot the saying that I wanted. I quote that I remember, bro, for the longest time having a brain for it. But it was saying, I think it was it KRS-One. He was talking about how the disconnect between the older generation and the youth. And
yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
What exactly what you talking about, man?
So he was talking about how if the youth pay attention to the older, they'll fly faster and higher amongst the youth. But if the older listen to the younger, they'll fly older and faster amongst the old heads. You know what I mean? So when he said, I was like, bro, that's it. That's exactly what it is.
I didn't all the way understand that, and I hate to say it, till I went to school down south, man. Like, basically, you start learning, like, the system don't want you having conversations with your uncle and shit.
Yeah.
Me being young, man, uncle, man, I ain't trying to hear that, man. Then uncle, like, man, them youngsters ain't, when we need to be having a conversation to see where the gap is bridged at. I agree with that, yo. When I had went down south, the alumni from our school was very powerful. They people from the movement. All right. And you realize, yo, I went down there and I stopped being inferior to the system. I'm like, I didn't even know black people can be in these positions. You start looking at stuff different.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was inferior to the system until you get down there. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
All these people in my color doing all this, man. What in the world? Lawyers, doctors, like real live. Homecoming down there in Raleigh from the two black schools, St. Augustine, Shaw, man. I'm telling you, man.
Hey, bro, they got the same energy I got. They just educated. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the point. Like, oh, no, ain't nothing wrong with me. Like, ain't nothing wrong with coming. Like, I agree with you, bro. Like, but so out of all that, man, like, you do a lot out there, bro. But the one thing that I admire the most, bro, is that you always got your boys with you. You know what I'm saying? You got your little brother with you. You got your boys. You pull in. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, how you balance all that, bro?
I don't, honestly. And what I mean by that is, early on, I used to think a lot. Like, and I keep my sons with me, my brothers around me, right? And early on, I was nervous about it when it was happening because I'm like, yo, how am I gonna keep all this up?
Yeah.
This is gonna sound crazy because I'm non-religious, I'm a believer, but let me tell you why I say that. Yo, I felt like it was God written. I didn't know that I was gonna be able to take my sons with me every day because I made my schedule for like the first 3-4 years of my life and as adulthood. So what that did was I had my sons that was getting raised up. So I was able to take that time to them, and while I was doing that, I was mentoring. I had all these other things that I was doing, but everything God was showing me, he had created an environment where I can kind of dictate what I was doing. My responsibility, though, was to never make sure I didn't have enough space or time with the guys. You get me? And I feel like that's what a lot of men do. You ask some of my players that's in college now, bro. These dudes have been a guy picking them up. Coach Paul, play going on, bro. PJ, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
And I look around, I can't judge no man, but I see so many coaches from when I was growing up that had boys, and I follow ages and be like, why you ain't have them with you?
Yeah.
One day in specific, when I say I don't try to juggle it, I just like, this is my lifestyle. Everything coming with it. Like, that's kind of how it was. And it was a lot of because they was young, but as they now 7 and 5, them little niggas just run right next to the hip. They stay up.
Yeah.
So when I had my first son, PJ, I had a game and I didn't take him, right? So, bro, this the day I don't know how these guys not being there for their father, for their kids, the ones in the oldest, right? But I come home, I'm like, dang, yo, he was like 6-7 months, right? Barely walking, but he had a little stroller I could use. And yo, looking, smiling, I'm talking to him. I'm telling him about the game, right? And the whole time, bro, while I'm at the game, coaches, players, they already know. I just have, And I felt so stupid that I didn't take him. Yo, like, why wouldn't you take your son here?
Yeah.
Just because you're coaching and the love that we all got. Yo, my players watch my kid, but it ain't nothing they can't do on that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Fact.
that was the day that I was like, no, I'm not going to try to fit things in. Everything come with me. My sons come with me. You know what I mean? And it's been a big reward, y'all. It's been a big reward. It took me away from friends that I don't need to be around.
Yeah.
I remember a guy my mechanic was like, Paul, I see same thing. You with your kids a lot, man. I was like, oh no, man. I be trying. I was just jokingly saying, I'm trying to slide off. He's like, don't ever do that. God bless a man with his children.
Facts, bro.
And, like I said, I'm not spiritual in that, but I'm not gonna lie. He didn't know. This was like a couple. Man, I already was dealing with so much, dog. That you talking about stories. You talking about.
How old were you? How old were you when you had your oldest son?
25, 7 years ago. 24, 25.
25. Yep. How long were you and Mom Deuce together, you know?
So we was together through college, right? Mm-hmm. Well, really for about 1.5 years, 2 years in college. And then after that it happened. So probably about 2-3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
How did you handle like the adaptation into being a single father, going from relationship to now you're a single father?
Yeah. Man,
like, what mindset wise, like were you confident? Were you nervous?
So I was confident, right? I was confident because I'm like, I'm gonna give what I ain't have. Oh yeah, I'm gonna. Then I was nervous as shit, scared as hell, because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. All I know is I'm giving him everything I ain't have, but I don't know what to do. Of course, my generation, I didn't really have men to talk to and say, hey, this is what you do. It is what it is, yo. They wasn't doing it, yo. Men, and I was the guy reaching out, asking questions.
Yeah.
Go fuck bitches, go and do this. Excuse my French.
Yeah, you're fun.
All of that. It's like,
so I ain't trying to do that. I'm trying to be a father, bro. Like, is this normal? Is this part right here normal?
My cousin said it's cheaper to keep her. What? It was so many things I was getting from
that
black.
was the main one back then, though. You're right. It's cheaper to keep her. You're right.
From black, but I'm like, what? I'm not trying. I'm talking about me being a dad. So I was scared, y'all. I was nervous as hell, y'all. I didn't know, but I don't know if that makes sense. I was confident because I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get. But yo, when I say scared, nervous, and that didn't leave until probably the first 4 years. Because when my son was like 6 months, I was a single dad.
Okay.
I think at 6 months, yo, I'm talking about up, going that moms go through, and that's the thing that people don't talk about. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted though. His mom was going through the same thing because she was single as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like man, like you said, nobody look at that. Yeah, I was, I already raised my little brothers and sisters when we was coming up. So it's about 7 of us. So me and my oldest sister, looked out for us coming up, getting each other up and shit for school. You know how that go.
Yeah.
Hold the baby, the bottle by yourself. Shit, mom ain't right there. You in your own house. Like I was
baby cry, you can't stop. You like
what? Don't lie. I was good with those things.
Hey, bro, my older daughter had colic, bro. I was 19, bro, 20. My daughter had colic, bro. Bad.
Oh, that's gas, right? That's that.
I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the combination of gas and uncomfortableness and just crying all the time, bro. Like, so my mother was a young grandmother. So she was working like corporately at that time, was on the fly. So I was handling a lot, you know what I'm saying, like on my own. So that part you spoke on when you said like men go through the same adjustments that women do. We just don't voice it. You know what I'm saying? Like we have a hard time with the split up no matter how it is, no matter how it goes. You know what I'm saying? So that was funny. He brought that point, bro. Like so how did you like what gave you momentum and going to the space of where I got this? Was it a few years, a couple months?
Yeah, probably about a year. That's like I said, after that 4 years, it was like, all right, because once he became one, he was able to walk a little bit.
Yeah.
It was things that I kind of needed him to do so he could move fully with me. Stand up at the practices or in the stroller, but he good. You know what I mean? Or about a year, I was able to get a little better with it because that first year, yo, it's a little, it's tough. It's tough. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's tough. If you don't have a partner, if you're not on it, yo, you know what I mean? Like it's tough.
The crazy part about that, bro, I think that like we say we go through what women go through, right? But I think a lot of times that get misinterpreted as not caring, not giving a damn, not communicating. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's really not. It's in a space where I know, for me, where I was already struggling with some things mentally, that when we went through that space, it was being projected outside of my head. You know what I'm saying? As far as you just like your father, you ain't shit. I hope you die. Like all this stuff I'm saying. So like when you get into that space, bro, you just like you already stressing out trying to figure out how you're gonna do this by yourself, right? And then the person that you were in love with or you cared about at one point now is looking at you in a space of where they're minimizing what you're doing, where they're doing that on their best to kind of break it because what's happening isn't what they think should be happening, right? And so you get to a space, man, where I think having a conversation with somebody, man, they were saying, he brought up a good point, and he was saying a lot of women these days that didn't have a father present in the household, they go off of the fantasy of what a father should be, and we take the hit for that a lot of times, right? Because we're trying to figure it out. We don't have the answers, but we can't tell you that because you're using a lot of the things that we're trying to do against us and the things that you already know to say we're not growing or to validate how you feel we are, right? But you're missing the bigger picture. And within that space, when a lot of drama happened, a lot of men shut down. You don't feel like you have to prove yourself. You don't believe me anyway. You think I'm a bull crap anyway. Let me just go ahead and make less drama and let me just get as far away from you as I possibly can. And I'm gonna do my best to make sure I keep my kids within reach. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's in that space, man, where I just hear a lot of brothers, man, like, when you hear what the media say, it ain't even just black. You know what I'm saying? It ain't it's black, white, Hispanic, bro, Brazilian, whatever, bro. Like when you sit back and you hear, it don't matter what class level you in, what income level you're in. When you sit back and you hear a lot of men talk, right? I hear a lot of things that's not in the media. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of men that I talk to me, they have the exact same feelings that women have got, but maybe a little worse because now I got to carry this on my own. Because now what society says about a single father, you're saying I'm all that, but I'm legit over here trying. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not working out that way. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't realize that men have maternal instincts as well. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of men are maternal. A lot of men have maternal skills, right? But it's nothing that come natural to us that we work hard, but we work hard for it. But we get neutralized, man, by certain things as far as, especially being a young dad, right? We get hit with child support and you don't have a career. Yeah. you didn't get enough momentum to get any kind of work, you know what I'm saying? So now, all right, you busting your tail working 2 jobs, right?
And and that makes you better. That make you better too.
That make you better, right? So you busting your tail working 2 jobs, you're tired. A lot of men, whether you believe it or not, are in school or working businesses, kind of bring a better lifestyle to their kids. But what does that do? That take away from the time available for you to spend with your kid, right? So a lot of women out there these days, man, they get into a space where they kind of want you to do both things and not too understanding. If you get into a space where your overtime requires you to work that week and let you get the kids, it's a lot of women out here that give you a hard time and say that, well, you should have, you know what I'm saying? Like, say a single father should have the support, but it's a lot of single men out here who don't have support like a lot of single women don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's that made me. This topic put me on the topic that we were on Thursday, man, as far as out of order, right? Because when you get back to the actual order, outside of religion, outside of spirituality, right? When you just get back to the soul, whole foods order of what things supposed to do, ain't none of what you hear talked about on mainstream media. It had nothing to do with any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think it has it all in the space of blaming, right? So, like when you became like what would I was reading an article today, man, and it was saying something like it was brought up. It said 5 challenges faced by fathers in the responsible fatherhood programs, right, throughout the cities. And a lot of the things they were saying, like a guy brought up, like the top 5 challenges they mentioned in descending order was unemployment, lack of money to buy things for their children, the inability to pay child support, difficulty keeping a job, and the inability to pay bills. A lot of those things are financial, right? But those financial things are heavy because men are providers. You know what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of times you hear that those 5 things are big because those are what most men consider like, bro, this is my job. So the same way a lot of women realize it's not happening, a lot of men realize it's not happening on their end as well. And they're frustrated just with themselves. This is frustrated as the women are with them. But then you start seeing the combination of a lot of men tapping out and going into substance abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of men tapping out, getting stressed out and saying F it and walking away. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but it's not that what they want to do initially. It's in a space where a lot of times they didn't have a choice. Go ahead, bro. What you got?
Oh, just what you just said. Guys wanting to tap out. Like, I gotta speak on that. I'm a dude that I'm active, fatherly, and this is a talk I'm definitely gonna have my sons. not in detail, but to be honest, I was that man who wanted to tap out. Yo, I had a friend, Ike, yo, we on the phone for about hours. I'm in tears, yo.
Yeah.
I left court. I'm like, bro, fuck this. I don't know what else to do, man.
Yeah.
I had to talk to my sons when they get 10. The shit that I had to go through, you know, just because of, and I say my son's mother did anything wrong. It was just in a sense of I can't have him just as much as you. And the reaction was because I'm a man and you're a woman. What? Like, I don't think they, you know, so it touched me, yo. Just now you saying that touched me because, yo, I kind of was one of those men, yo, and I had to pull myself out because when you're doing everything you got to do, I didn't get why I was getting hit with that, right? And then you go to court, and then I learned so much that that black men not talking about. See, all the shit that I was hearing before I went to court, I'm not gonna lie, false lies, yo, because when I went through, I was able to, it was tough, it was hard, it was emotionally draining, but at the end of it, I was able to see some light, a lot of light. Like, I got my rights. I didn't even know rights I had. I'm like, these black men they telling me stuff that ain't true, you know. But I was about to walk away because going through that it was hard. Yo, I really wanted my son, bro. Nigga was going broke almost.
Yeah.
I'm that dude, like, you know, even like right now, you know, until another income come in, yo, I'm still taking certain hits because of my sons and because of that situation. But this the thing, man. I still got my son's money Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yeah. Facts.
So I mean, like, so, yo, it's tough. It's tough, man.
And so that's the part where you right, bro. I think you want a lot, like I said, a lot of brothers hit that space, man. A lot of men hit that space, man. When you get into that space where, and I commend the ones who stay, right? Because the men that run, bro, like it ain't, the story ain't always full. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you only hear one side of the story, and a lot of men don't. Being a man, bro, you. I know me personally, you don't like you go with it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what the story. Yeah. It's always a man's fault. You know what I'm saying?
My bad to cut you off again, bro. It's just
you good, bro.
I'm just happy for the experiences I had. Like, it's just what you said, yo. We so quick to say the man until you really know the real story. I had a father who never told me the real story. Mm-hmm. I got a whole nother nigga name. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Up in 19, 20, I found out from another nigga why I got the name I got. But my father, all my life, I'm wondering why he ain't around. What the fuck? Every time yo come around, he got issues with moms.
Yeah.
Come to find out, shit, this ain't your motherfucking son. It's Paul's son, nigga. Whole time I'm your son. Like, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about it. And then now I'm 19. I don't hear this till 19 and 20. You know, so all these years I grew up without a father because of what you did, man.
And so that's the part where a lot of kids go through that, right? A lot of and go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
The anger that I had from it, that like all of these years of not, you know. And then at 31, yo, when I turned 28, I sit and talk to my father like, nigga, I ain't mad at you no more. I can't even be mad at you. That's when I feel like I really became whole, yo.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 28, because I'm like, damn, bro, like this man didn't even know all these fucking years. I hate this man, y'all. I hated him. And then it wasn't even his fault, dog.
Yeah. That's real, bro.
Only thing I can ask yo was, nigga, why you ain't tell me that, you know, and the first thing you'll tell me, because I'm a man, yo, what I'm supposed to tell you at 14, 13, and 12, nigga?
A lot of times, we don't want to, as a father, bro, we don't want to make the parent look bad, the other parent look bad in the kid's eyes.
Say this, because I agree, but it's go back to what, I'm glad you said that. Go back to what you said, yo. It's time for us to start speaking up. Like I told I'm not going to tell them detail. I'm going to tell my sons what the fuck we went through in a good, best way, because
so they can understand.
They can't go, if we don't tell them, they're going to go make the same mistake. Mm-hmm. What am I saying? Hey, yo, be more patient with women. Mm-hmm. Pay their ass no mind. These are the things I had to learn, because if I learned it then, I probably would have been still with my son's mom, to be honest.
That's facts.
But there's so much nobody else for, because like women able to be victims and they able to do this, and then the reason that you said we maternalize and we keep away outside our bodies because we ain't supposed to say all this shit. We supposed to be quiet. So now the reason I'm shut down is because I have been a man who have been bad, or no, not even bad. Just, how could I say it, dissected, that now ain't no more for me to do.
Ain't nothing. And you gotta be careful with that too, bro, because a lot of times, like I know I found out, in a space where I did everything I could to not be my father, right? To kind of project something differently onto my kids and to make sure I was there. I've been there, you know what I'm saying, but not in the way that I've liked to been there. You know what I'm saying? And for reasons like you explained, as far as where you at, bro? You got there we go.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. You wanna so it got to that space, man, where I tried everything in my power to avoid, but then I started to learn what manhood was, right? And you learn that, okay, as a man, I'm doing everything in my power to make to not seem like my dad. But then my kids were looking at me exactly how I looked at my dad, and without understanding. And I was looking for explanation from their moms to help out and let them know, well, tell her I'm at work. Tell them I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, let them know I'm not running. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the part of that is you get caught up on a space where I found out that you don't have to be a bad person to get the same results that your father got. You know what I'm saying? You can have good intentions and still end up in a position. And I feel like that's the spiritual side of it. That's the godly side of God showing you, like, bro, like, hey, that's your ego working. You know what I'm saying? Like this is your ego. Just be patient, like you said, and learn the ropes. You don't know it, just learn it, right? Without blaming somebody else for it. Because you come to a certain age, man, where what you went through with your parents is no longer their problem. It's your responsibility to fix that now. You know what I'm saying? So seeing that, you know, like I was humble, bro, in a space where I kind of came to the same place with my dad, bro. It was just like, man, like, all right, you moved wildly back then. I understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if we can build something right here, I'm cool with that. Just don't play me in this space. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sensitive there. You know what I'm saying? So it's in that space, man, where like with my kids, bro, like I have older kids, my teenagers, and I got sick when they needed me the most. You know what I'm saying? Like 12, 9, 10, in that age where, you know, I had the worst part of my life with mental illness at that point. And it kind of validated, you know, what their mom was saying to them and what they were saying, what they thought was going on because of my lack of not saying what was going on. They seen me there, but I wasn't there, bro. I was tapped. I had a mental break from trying to do everything. I was going 4 years into 2 jobs, you know what I'm saying? Like 2 full-time jobs and going to school full-time. I was really talking about baby mama drama, bro, trying to find somebody to love and kind of give me a space to feel good and to feel safe in, man, and kind of be able to feel life. And then you got all this stuff pulling at you, man, and it just got to the place where after I got married, bro, the responsibility, man, just made me tap. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it like the obligations, not responsibility, the amount of obligations, the amount of responsibility, the lack of things coming into manifestation, you know, and the time that it was taking. I got to a place where I felt like, man, like, how do people enjoy being a father, bro? Like, how do you find joy in this part right here? Because not only what I was dealing with in the physical aspect, but also the mental realm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was hard on myself because now I'm at work all the time. I can't be the father that I want to be, let alone what I was, you know. So it's when you get into that space, bro, like it's difficult, man, because you hear when you talk to her, you take 10 different guys, 10 different kids' fathers, 10 different dads, and you put it in a space where you ask them, you know, what they've been through, what their experiences were. It's always in a space where it may be similar as far as how things act in the reaction. And but it's different stories. You know what I'm saying? Like we all kind of go through the same things at heart. You know what I'm saying? Like we all love our kids to death. And when we go through things with their moms, man, it kind of it's stressful, man, because now you like you said, you don't, as a dad, as a man, you don't want to put down a kid's mom, your kid's mom, especially because most of us loved our kid's mom at one point. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of take it. So you're carrying the part where you're beating yourself down. You see, you know, you understand like some of the frustration that your kids have, the perspective that they have. You're mad because you can't say what really happened. You know what I'm saying? You got all these stories floating around about you and what you did wrong and how you handled situations and how you were irresponsible and how you just you know what I'm saying? Like you get to a space where you just feel like, bro, like the world is just against you. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want you to fail as a father. So I'm at the place now where I can understand that now that I have kids in the household, bro, I went through the whole thing of saying like I was just taking care of, I was a stepdad better than I was a real dad. And you don't understand, people like that don't understand the circumstances. I would never, like anybody that know me know that I would never get into that space. But there is a such thing as what's it called, bro, as far as having the kids within reach, the accessibility. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, like I know growing on, like I kept hearing it over and over again. It's my daughter, my child, my child, my child, my child, my child. And so you get into a space where you just like, bro, like I don't like how would you feel if that was spent around? It was the man sent that to the woman. Like, so why can't you put yourself in the space of understanding like although we're not boisterous or bold about what we're going through, why wouldn't you think that we're going through the same thing you're going through? You know what I'm saying? And so it's tough, bro, because this is such a sensitive subject. Like being a man, you don't want to talk about it because it sparks arguments. You know what I'm saying? It triggers women. It triggers women that are dealing with real deadbeat dads. It triggers women who are saying, well, you laid down and made a baby. So, everybody get that. Everybody understand that. But there's a gray area where there's a lot of shit happening with those gray areas that's making it hard. You know what I'm saying? Like you get into that space, man, where you have to prove you're worthy of being a father to some of these women, to a lot of these women. You know what I'm saying? And it has nothing to do with being a parent. It has everything to do with their accessibilities to you. You know what I'm saying? And that can be in any way. So it's like I said, it's I was kind of nervous about having this conversation, bro, because it's how the internet is. But at the same time, I've talked to so many men, bro, like from CEOs of companies down to dudes that are janitors and down, like, bro, we all had the same struggle. I remember working in a pharmacy, man. I was talking to a pharmacist came to me and he was like, hey, Dev, like you on child support, bro. Like, how you do it? You a tech. I'm a pharmacist, man, and I can't make it. I'm driving around in a car older than yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's something that we all deal with, man. And a lot of men are killing themselves behind it. Whether they're going and drowning in the bottle, whether they putting that in their nose, whether they swallowing the pills, whether they committing suicide. You know what I'm saying? Like right off by play, because they don't feel. A lot of people don't feel out like as a man, we know our job is to provide, but we live in a society where we have so many obstacles just to do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I commend you, bro, because like I said, like a lot of the things that you did, bro, you went to school, you had your first kid at 25, you come from Baltimore, you grew up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like you overcame so many obstacles, bro, to be the man you are today, to be the father you are, to be the mentor you are, to be the teacher that you are to these young boys in the inner city. You know what I'm saying? And they got somebody really, they had somebody like valid in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Like you talk about it in a way of saying like, I make it look good. Nah, bro, these dudes, they come to you for more than how you dress. You know what I'm saying? Like it's your whole spirit, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we want to talk about the dressing. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You made it all look good. Yeah,
all of it, the energy, bro. Like I know somebody come up to you, hey, coach, hey, Paul, what you got? How you make? Hey, bro, I struggle just like you do. Yeah. But you can get through it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna struggle your entire life most of the time. It's a fight as a man, but you can do it the same way I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just hearing that sometimes puts you in a space, bro, where you're just like, all right, bet, let's just go. But like you said earlier, you didn't hear that growing up. I remember having a conversation with my dad one day, man. I was crying, right? And I think that was the first time I ever came to him with something I was dealing with privately, right, as an adult, because I was like, man, like I can't afford this child support, but I want to pay my child support. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I remember my dad came to me and he was like, hey, I can tell you how to get around that. And I was just like, it pissed me off. I was like, I ain't trying to get around it. I'm trying to figure out how I can pay that and how I can live, because taking 60% of my income right now, I can't live. I'm struggling, and I'm still getting fussed at and cussed out like I'm not doing, like I'm a deadbeat. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but then a lot of times you don't realize that I was dealing with garnishment of wages from my taxes. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm dealing with, on top of that, I'm dealing with garnishment of wages of an eviction that I had with my daughter mother that, when we split. You know what I'm saying? Like, so because I couldn't afford the space by myself. You know what I'm saying? So, but all that stuff I was blamed for. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I took it and I swallowed it because I'm like, oh, yeah, it was my responsibility to do that. I am the man. I am the father. Just like they telling me I should have been able to do that, I'm telling myself I should have been able to do that. And now you're mad at yourself because now your good intentions are now being used as a weapon against you. You love this woman. You love this kid with everything you got in you, but you don't have the freedom to show it like the mother. You know what I'm saying? You got to worry about if your kid, how they thinking about you. You got to worry about their perception. You got to worry about, all right, I got to be aware of their perception of life. I understand that it's not mine, but they have their own. So therefore, there'll be times where I want to discipline my kids about something, but then I'm second guessing myself because I'm like, how they going to respond to me? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't know what's being told on the other end, bro. But this topic, man, is deeper than just baby daddy, bro. It's really like, a lot of this stuff is messing men up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times I've I lost 2 friends to committing suicide in that space. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to this day, that woman don't know that's what it was about. You know what I'm saying? And because it seemed like they were distant, but they weren't. They were only distant for their protection. They were only distant to save their self, to keep their self from getting beat down by somebody they once loved. And it seems like a lot of times that women are convicting to men, and men don't have the opportunity to make mistakes, the same mistakes that women make, especially as parents. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, bro. You can hop in.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. We definitely looked at with a different perspective. Like, you the breadwinner, ain't no excuses. And I mean, for me, man, I didn't even know I was in that state. I mean, like, I put myself in like a survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
I was going through, we was going through it, yo. But the survival mode had me kind of like, secondly, coping with failings.
Mm-hmm.
Down. But what you don't realize is, eventually that shit gonna fall on you. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna be honest too, though, man. I kind of tried to stay strong and true to. I was so rejective to what I was hearing, Dave, yo. I was doing some shit like, I'm proving all this shit wrong.
Yeah,
You know, like, the first thing I ever heard was, men are not like women. You're not nurtured. You know, so for me, why aren't we?
Yeah.
That's the problem, man. And men need to be nurturing.
They need to be nurturers.
Like, we can be nurturers to our kids. Like, who told you that I couldn't do that? I was nurturing my little brothers and sisters since I was 12 and 13 years old.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I took it personal. So instead of, like, I was dealing with like some mental and emotional, but I was more so on like a fight. I'm like, man, I'm proving wrong. Like, you know, I was in that mode. I ain't had time. I was, but I didn't. I was more so angry. Probably angry and trying to prove wrong rather than, oh my God, man. You know, because I was getting that, but I was fighting. Like, that's what I mean by fighting. Hell no. I did this. I've been doing this, man. I out here beating on women. I ain't cheating. I ain't even took a girl. I've been single because I didn't want to date several women. So I was fight mode, yo. But still, that kept me a little blind on some other stuff.
It keep you in, like you said, keep you in survival mode. You focus, you focusing on going, getting out of it. And that's the part that I was at. But I also found out at that point that there's too much. You know, there's only so much you can do as a human being. And a lot of that pace came from me, from being a people pleaser and trying to please the people that I love, to show them, like it took me a minute to understand, bro. Like, I couldn't understand why certain things were being said, because I'm like, you know me. Like, why would you say that? Like, you know me. And then as I got older, bro, and I started doing shadow work as I got older, it hit me in my late 30s, early 40s, like now. Like, damn, you didn't know me. You didn't love me the way that I loved you, because that wouldn't have happened that way. You know what I'm saying? But I spent so much time in that space, bro, like that fight. I didn't even know what I was carrying. I was just being a man. I was just doing what a man was supposed to do, bro. And it got to that point where I realized, like you said earlier, man, when it got to a space where I realized that somebody educated me on the rights that we had, I didn't want to exercise them, because I didn't want my daughter mad at me for doing something and taking away, you know, trying to exercise more time with her for me, and that'll pull her away from my mom. You know what I'm saying? So when I learned that there was joint custody, when I learned the process of going about joint custody, when I learned the details of joint custody, bro, like the amount of days I was hurt, because I'm like, bro, why don't nobody tell me this? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I'm on a mission now when I work with these boys, man. Like, I don't just talk about, it ain't just about, it's mentoring. Yeah, bro, but I treat every kid that I come in contact with like my little brother. I treat him like family until you show me you ain't. And that's only to instill what I didn't know. I ain't gonna pour it on you without you wanting to ask me for it. But if you ask me for it, bro, I'm gonna give you everything I got. You got a kid on the way, you 17, shorty, go file joint custody right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got a toddler. You going through what? She said, what? Bro, go do joint custody. Everything else can get worked out, and make sure you get a paternity test. You know what I'm
saying? And not to say, you know this. We went through shit. Ain't no, she said what? She doing what? Bro, my sons, even with their wife, they going through that. That's the stuff we don't talk about as men, Dad. That's why because you know, yo, that's what we need to talk to these young men about. Because see, then I don't got no problems no more.
Yep.
At all.
Yep.
None. Because the stuff that was dictated have been taken away, and you can see like, oh, and the only reason I'm saying it because I was so angry, like you said, once you find out, I went to every man, my uncle and all that. Like, why you tell me this part?
But they didn't know.
Dave, let me tell you, Dave. Some of them same men, I'm telling you, bro, they went through. They just did what I seen other men. I'm cool with my weekends. Hell no. I ain't cool with it. See, Dad, we gotta talk about it, Dad.
Yeah, fact, bro. You right.
Really cool. Because when I was going to court for 2 fucking years for both cases, I'm like, you what? Hey, yo, I was in there on that.
Yeah.
Because I started realizing some other stuff. Like, oh, when these men, because my cousin, some of them niggas went to court. That's why I'm telling you. The same man that told me it's cheaper to keep her is the same man that went to court and got his kids every other weekend, bro. I ain't with that. So, that's even more for me why this is a little even more gritty, y'all. Because I wasn't, like you said, you all right, though. Because another man, my own uncle, the one that started grooming the mentality I had as an older man and really showing me, right? Same dude that I'm like, why you ain't tell me this? And like you said, they ain't know. But did they really not know, man? Let's be real. Because I've seen a lot of men walking through that door coming out acting like they ain't know.
A whole lot of them, too. But at the same time, a lot of them don't know in detail. They may have an idea of saying go file for joint custody, but like you said, their idea of joint custody is every other weekend. You know what I'm saying? So it got to that place where I booked myself into that because although I didn't have that mindset, although anybody around you could tell you that I'm a very maternal father. You know what I'm saying? The things that I pay attention to is sometimes more than what the mom pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I was mad at myself, bro, because at that time I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I had a family that worked in the family court, and she was telling me, she was like, Devin, go down there and file it. But I was just throwing it off as it was a court. It was something that I had to pay for, another fee I didn't have money for. I couldn't afford a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So it get to that space where, what you want, the kids calling?
Yeah, no. You go. I was my son right here. You go. I'm listening.
No, you good. It's just that place, man, where I didn't know. I wasn't confident. And I didn't know where to go to find more information. And I felt stupid that I didn't do that earlier. You know what I'm saying? But then when I got to the place where I really wanted to do it, I had the conflict of not wanting to cause conflict amongst my child and I because it was already a tight situation. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, you good, bro. Well, we are it might be the shortest show ever. You got 55 minutes. We already into it. Well, so let me see, bro. I think I had another thing on here that I wanted to touch on. So it was interesting to see, bro. I read something today and it was saying, they asked a question, is it harder to be a single father? And the answer was, it's not surprising that being a single parent is a tough road. But this was in Canada. This research was done in Canada. It was saying Canadian research shows that single fathers fare particularly badly when it comes to health and longevity. In general, men don't live as long as women, and they tend to enter single parenthood at an older age. You know what I'm saying? It's funny because I heard something one day, man. I went to do research myself, and they said that the incarceration rate was higher for black males in a single mother household than it was in a single father household. And it made me think about that, right? Because I'm like, how? I was perplexed at first. I'm like, oh, how is that possible? You know what I'm saying? But then when you think about it, right? Like there are a lot of men out here with the ability to be maternal men. You know what I'm saying? Men are protectors. They pay attention to detail. They got the same drive as a father as you do as a mother. The same things drive you. So it's just role wise though. We are supposed to be the provider. So our first role is to go out there and get the money, go out there and get the bread, to go out there and provide, bring the food home and things like that. But when you get into a situation where a lot of men get in this society, today's world, bro, where you're getting locked up, you're trying your best to pay child support, but now you ain't make your payments, and now you got to suspend a license, and now you're getting thrown in jail. Bro, I had one of my students, man, when I was teaching at Allstate, he was older than me. He said, Dev, the Fed, he said the SWAT team kicked in my door, bro, over child support, dog. Put me on a bus and took me 18 hours away. Where he did 3 years for child support, bro, on a kid that he ended up having a custody for at that moment we were talking. So it's like, bro, like women don't go through nothing like that, man. You have to worry about getting to a space where you legit struggling financially, you legit trying to figure things out, and now boom, now you have an arrest warrant because you have failed to pay your child support obligations. Man, it's not as easy as people like to portray it out here. And you got too many people speaking on this thing who have no idea what it involves or what a person goes through. Everything doesn't look the same for everybody, and every unique is different. So it's. I think when I say, bro, like I feel like I'm having this conversation because to bring attention and to bring light is sometimes to have women. Hey, bro, just take it easy on us for a minute.
Yeah,
you know just don't be so convicting. Hear him out. You may not like what he's saying.
Yeah.
He may not be trying to your level of where he thinks he should be trying, but be patient with that man because he's trying to figure out the same way you are. You know what I'm saying? Like he's having the same struggle. And it was funny because I sat back and I watched, bro. Like, I was unemployed. I was applying for food stamps. I was applying for Section 8. I was applying for everything, bro. You know what I got?
Nothing.
$15 in food stamps a month.
Sure.
You know what my kid's mother got? You know what I'm saying? So crazy numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's in a space where it's like, bro, how is this built for me? How is this built for me to have the same advantage that you have? How is this in the best interest of my kid, bro? I told the judge that one day.
Go ahead. I ask you, I mean, man, y'all, I think this might go into another part of your piece because you should talk about this. But the reason, because women believe we got it way easier, bro.
We don't. We don't, though. I agree with you.
See, I totally agree, and I'm not even here to say one do or one don't, because I tell women, hey, like you said, let's take it easy. Me, I'll be on this shit of, even though my belief, I know. I'm one of them, I be trying to push this because women are so, let's do this 50, not financially. Let's both show each other some type of sympathy. Let's both.
Let me show you some grace. You show me some grace, I'll show you grace. You know what I'm saying?
Because, I don't think that we understand. I mean, I get women, so I get where women go. I get women.
I was raised by a single mother. I know. I was raised by all women. I know the fight. I know the struggle. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Like, do they really know? And if like you say, just take it easy, give them some grace. That is so important because, I really don't. And I don't want to say this because we raised by women, single women, so we understand women. Because I don't want to say a woman don't understand this, but I don't think they really understand the pressure that men under. We're doing everything, and then you taking the psychological side as well.
Yeah.
So you're going through everything as a provider, as a man, and then you're dealing with your daughter of what she think about you, and you always motherfucker doing everything you think. You get what I'm saying? Like, not only this, but you got to deal with that and the woman.
Yeah.
Because everybody gets about, you was the man. What did you do? And it's like, well, shit. Because nobody said this. Like, I told her, I had a convo with some older women earlier. Like, shoot, it was a married woman, and she chuckled and looked at me like, oh, because I was like, shoot, you got 2 salaries. You in your husband's pocket. She looked at me. And then we had a great convo, but she's like, Paul, you're absolutely right. Because she was just talking this for 2 days. She was talking about how she spent her husband money all day. I'm like, and she got a good job. She worked for me. She a little higher up than me. So I'm like, you don't even gotta spend his money. But the mentality, like, oh, well, he's good. How you know?
How you know? He's fulfilling his obligation.
Yeah, like, he's not even realizing she's subliminally doing this stuff that we're talking about, that while we're under this pressure. Am I right? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And for me, it was a good convo because at the end, honestly, she looked at it the way I was saying. Of course, women try to say, then they throw in what they're doing, right? Which I get, but it's like, no. Before we get there, look at the retrospect or the perspective that you're giving off, though. You don't even mean it good.
Yeah. It's conditioned. It's conditioned.
Exactly. I'm like, you got 2 salaries, huh? See, women don't even think like that because men, we gotta be like, I gotta make 2 salaries. That's what you talking about. That's what we talking about.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be going out here having to think we gotta make 2 salaries, bro. Let's just be real. Like, let's sit back real quick, because me, I'm a providing man, but damn, the things that make it even harder when it be like, shit, I gotta find out not just 2 incomes, but 3 now I'm on child support. Shit, I got. You know what I mean? That's really what.
Now you got your girl in your ear because now the money come out of the household, but now you as a man feel obligated to your child to want to do certain things, but now you can't spend the money on that because you don't want to start an argument in your household because you already sent child support for the month. It's complicated.
Crazy.
Yo.
So I say all that to say, man, and I'm not trying to be one of these dudes, yo, but it ain't even close. It ain't even close, yo. It ain't even close because putting yourself like me being a provider, my youngest son, your mother, I was cooking every night, yo.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a house before 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Like I played with you, put him to sleep. So, dang, you did what you had did too, but it's like shit, y'all like, nigga.
Yeah.
Not only am I going to provide things, I'm also making sure I'm doing these things because I want
to take it off of you, to make you easy, to give you an easy situation. You know what I'm saying? I agree with you, bro.
And it's just men. Like I got a woman who ain't worked for 7-8 months after the child. You know what, babe? Let's get to that job then. Mm-hmm. But our son in daycare. For what? Like these things, man. But I can't question that. I got
no, you can't. So I think at the end of the day, bro, like I'm learning, like you said earlier, man, there's so much I wish would have known back then, especially about me and the accountability portion of it, right? Because then you will understand that men and women, that women are the night to the men's day. It's supposed to be like that. And it's never supposed to be, it rarely, it's never 50-50 in any relationship, So, but the most important relationship that you have to understand that is the co-parenting relationship, because your child is impacted by all the negative stuff that happens within that space. And then rightfully, a lot of things that was happening is that everybody's acting emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Like, so some people are some are attacking, some are defending. You know what I'm saying? Like, and at some point it switches. And then at some point you don't trust. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of them. At some point you start to despise. And then now at this point, now the kid is still in the middle of this point, getting none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest lesson, man, is that within a space that I'm learning that, bro, nobody loves. Nobody knows what the real meaning of love is today. Very few people do that. You know what I'm saying? You see that in relationships where when you go to an elderly person, an older couple, and you ask them, Javi, get down. You go to an older couple and you see them in a space where you just like, hey, how'd you do it? Back in the day, it used to be like, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? But now they're telling you the details of the difficulties, and it's nothing that you thought it was. It's the fine print in that gray area, because everybody don't go through the same thing. But the one part that we're supposed to have as men, that I believe, bro, is the patience out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because men are in a space, bro, like ideally when it goes to a space where men are really like what I say, men are black and white. It's either that or not with men. You know what I'm saying? But what women are, what is that?
No, you were saying that. I was saying, yup, men are technical.
They're technical, very technical, right? But women are emotional, and it's triggering when you say that, but it's not a bad thing. That's where the balance comes into place, because that's discernment. That's the part where we like, nah, we cool. We're gonna go after the women coming in like, no, don't do that because this and that, babe. I tell you, I see this, and that's where we got to come in to trust the woman. But that's where the show came from. Title came from. That's what I'm saying, out of order, because we so stuck on the part where it says women are to submit to a man, right? In a marriage. I said that way, right? But we're missing the whole thing where it said a man is supposed to die for himself and is supposed to die for his family in the same scripture. So it's not just the one place where somebody's making more of a sacrifice. We're both making sacrifices here. You know what I'm saying? But when you're trying to figure out when you're arguing about who's making a bigger sacrifice, bro, there's no way you can take any type of mending or any type of solution, because now you're being defensive and you're being argumentative. And now you're trying to show me that I don't understand where you're coming from, but I'm trying to show you that I do understand, but I got these issues too. What I'm supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think society, man, has groomed this toxic ass environment, bro, where it's when you look at it as a bigger picture, right? The best way to conquer anything, any race, any country, any beings, you know what I'm saying? Any species, is to divide and conquer. You know what I'm saying? So you hear that all the way from the top, from just relationships, right? All the way to marriages, all the way to the freaking vaccine, dog. All the way down to we arguing about scientific facts about what is male and what is female, bro. Like, so you got so many things going on, bro. You can't pay attention to what to fix. You know what I'm saying? But relationship wise, bro, it's never 50-50. And I think a lot of people look for it to be that. You know what I mean? So go ahead, bro. You know I run on.
Yeah, I agree, man. And I mean, I didn't know you was going in that direction in that part in the beginning, but absolutely, yo, like That's something I was looking for.
Mm.
As a man, I wasn't giving. I was just giving. I was giving more early, but then it was like, hold up. Shouldn't this be 50-50? And it's like, nah, like you said, sacrifices, yo. I'm going to sacrifice 80% today. Shit, my woman might have to sacrifice 80% tomorrow.
Nah.
And
I
you
might have to
say,
do 85% for the next 3 years, but my woman,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
she might do 100% for the next 5 for
Exactly.
illness or something like that. You never know.
Everything. And I'm tripping because when we was talking, I always have life experiences, like where I pay attention to, because I always say, I just think you said discernment. I always think it's that, and I watch that. And the reason I say this is because my cousin, I had a convo, my older cousin, he about 6-7 years older than me. But basically, I was young in college, right? And I would come home at their house, and it was all boys, so I would go over there, I love my cousins and shit, whatever. So he ended up getting his girlfriend. So this had broke all of the 7 boys in his house up, right? And I was the youngest one. I'm like, damn, this just fucked the moon up. So make a long story short, I'm showing how women are the night and day. And I was able to see this early on.
Mm-hmm.
So as I get older, this was about 19. I'm 31 now. So they've been together that long, got married. I went to the wedding and everything. I didn't like this first, bro. Cause I'm like, yo, she's so pushy. Yo, what the heck? Yo, my cousin, though, great dude. I ain't gonna lie. The reason when she came, he elevated even the way I thought he could be at. You get what I'm saying? But he used this house thing, yo. I came out to their house all the way up, out in the kind of night. I'm like, damn, man, this joint big. And then, he was like, yo, you remember the conversation we had? I was like, convo was basically 1 year. He was at a smaller house, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they moved in, his wife was like, Mike, we need a bigger house, right? Me and him was geeking because he like, yo, I just got the house, man. I don't know why she on that, Paul. Like, we on it. Like, so mind you, this was a year before. So this year, we just started dying. Like, before we could even say a word, we laughing hard. Because yo was just basically whining to me about this new house. I just got my wife and she asking for a bigger house. But now the reason my cousin's financially where he is, mentally where he is, spiritually where he is because his woman was pushing him. But see, not in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? It's all of what we like. She had an understanding that I ain't getting.
Yeah.
Eventually, as a man, the type of man he was, on what we saying is, I looked at that and was like, okay. Because like I said, looking at the house, I was the dude that's proud of yo, and I forgot that I ain't like his wife. Hey, man, his wife like this, man. Anything I need. You get what I'm saying? Yo, like, and it's a woman, I'm like, damn, yo, you doing too much. But God put me right there to be mad at that, to look at that, see that, and then end up being, damn, yo, that's what men need.
So that's the part where the other side of it, we talk about the fantasy women have about seeing what if men have the same fantasy. Men have a fantasy of what a wife should be, especially if they, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? A man have a fantasy of what things should be and not actually what it is. So go ahead.
And it's because of everything you say in society. When I talk to women, or when women talk to us, what is a wife? We start telling them shit we heard off TV.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing, that's what you were saying earlier. Same thing with men. I mean, with women. You start asking them what is a husband, they start telling you stuff from Disney World. From the Cinderella story in her glass slipper. No, really, what we be on.
You're right.
Like, when you really dive in and be like, well, let's put all that to the side. Because now, let's talk about this. The older generation, when you was like, hey, you asked them how long they stay together, you ain't say this part. What this generation saying? I ain't. All right? Huh? Like, you get what I'm saying? Society, like, nah, man. Nah.
Society don't have any patience, bro. And it's a microwave. It's a selfish, egotistical, pleasure-filled, and fear-mongered society that we're in. It's instant gratification all around. If it don't make you feel good, you don't want it. And the one thing about love, you look down to the relationship with your parents, bro. You don't always like your parents, but you love them. You get into an argument, but let somebody play with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it is. That's how, like, the love, you're supposed to love your woman similar to the way you love your mom. You know what I'm saying? When you get to that space. And you're supposed to love your man in a similar way you love your father, because then it gets to that space where it takes away all conviction. It puts understanding, it puts vision. You understand, like, this guy, you don't have to live to my expectations. but I want to see you living fully in yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you take that down, it's not in marriage, bro. When you take that perspective down into a relationship as, like you said, co-parenting, that understanding that comes with that patience is, all right, sweetie, your father can't do it right now, but he's at work. He's busting his tail. He misses you too. You know what I'm saying? Like, just give us some time. It's gonna come back around. But instead, you got people saying, I don't know, you ain't shit. I don't know, talk to your father. Ask him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why you ain't ask your father. I don't know. I don't give a damn. And then you cuss that man out in front of your child. You tell him how much you ain't. So now that kid isn't just developing their own mindset, bro. That kid is developing a little bit of that energy that you've been portraying. And it gets to that space, man, where it makes it hard to, like I said, we talk about this next week, but we're out of order, bro. Like, even down to it, because yes, if I tell a young man, hey, bro, yeah, sure you look good, but you gotta look at that as having somebody. If you don't want to have a child with this woman, if you can't see yourself being married to this woman, you need to think about and be more responsible about who you lay down with, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's in that space, man, where it's in that space, man, where you're teaching accountability. Like, no, sure, I understand you want that. I understand, but if you do it now, bro, you gonna struggle. You don't even understand what life about. She don't even know understand what life about, right? But if you just get to that space where you be understanding, you understand, you be accountable, you're responsible. A lot of those things are already going to come along with it, man, and you're going to be that farther you see yourself as right now. If you're a little bit more patient, bro, I guarantee you're going to be a million times better than that dream you ever imagined. And the relationship, the relationship with your kids is going to be better than you ever imagined. You know what I'm saying? So, what you got, bro? I know you got something.
Yeah, man. I mean, shoot. It's funny you said that because why did I do what I do, man? From experiences. Shit, man, I find myself coaching literally my second year, yo. You know, we big, right? I'm hearing the guys talk all this stuff. They got, it's a big school over there, and pretty good team. So they got a lot of intake. They got a lot of stuff on IG, like the whole city knows who they are. So me, I find myself talking to our young men differently than what I was taught to. Like you said, accountability, yo. Like when they have girlfriends, I'm not with the cheat.
Hey, don't cheat, so they die. If you don't want to be with it.
So I'm encouraging them to be that man. I'm encouraging them like, yo, no. Then they look at me like, man, Coach Papa. I'm like, nah, bro. I was doing that. I'm telling you not to do that. I'm telling you why not to do that. I wish I had a man to tell me this. Because, they kind of know what I'm doing, but why ain't I married yet? You don't have to be. Ain't no time on it. But I always tell my youngsters, boy, if I get the right woman, Coach Paul will be even greater because I understand the value of having the right woman.
Bro, I was listening to Marcus Garvey his audio book today, or what was the thoughts and something like so. The one thing he said was that, like, exactly what you just said, bro. Like you say it
again. Basically, yo, like out here, thinking, I'm trying to get the value. I would be the greater man if I was able to find that right woman, yo.
Why is that?
Because with the right woman, she's gonna be able to push and add everything I got. I'm gonna be real, yo, and I hope ain't too many women watching this. About, I know how I get Paul, but to be real, yo, everything I got going on in my life, the right woman could take that on, and I could be way further, yo.
So that's what
business. This is my bad. Business that I got going on, the way my schedule is, yo, if I get the right woman could fit right in, have her own. Bruh. But that's where I failed, and that's why I'm telling the youngsters, no. Don't be out here trying to have fun and shit. Don't be out here thinking because you playing ball, you get to pick. No, yo. You need to be sitting here looking for the right one. And when God send them to you, like you said, don't be over there and look. You need to look, can I live with her? Can I lay down with this girl, have a kid? Do I see her as my wife? No. Because now, and I wasn't that far from Duke. A lot of the guys in my class, I hate to go here, the white race, yo, at Duke, yo, they had just as much fun as we did, but them niggas every day was talking about a wife at the end of it.
That girl, that high school sweethearts.
But that and cheating, I'm saying, even like I said, they were single, every woman that they kind of was looking to say, hey, could she be that? Nah, not us. We got the body.
I'm about to get the body. Let me get that.
Yeah. So I'm telling the youngsters, I had a player, yo, and this will open my eyes. My second year coach, I said second, bro. My man. Now my man. He in college doing his thing. But he had a girlfriend, yo. And basically this girl would help him with his homework, all of the stuff in sports that we know.
Yeah.
Not all these girls doing this type of stuff, bro. She was on it, making sure y'all went to class and all. And he one day was dragging on him in practice. And I'm close with him, so I'm a coach. But when we in football, it's love. I gotta get this relationship. We talking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And dragging on this girl, yo. So I walk over and say, yo, who you better not be talking about the name.
Yeah.
Coach, man. I say, yo, shut up, yo. You act like, and then I let them know, yo, don't act like your girl ain't out here doing this for you. You ain't did it. The reason that you able to even go to practice and go home and sleep because she helping you with your homework,
Yeah.
So just reminding them and showing them like you so much better in this place with your young lady than you would be by yourself. Because just a year before that, he was talking to this young lady and he was struggling with these things.
Mm-hmm.
And he get with this young lady and a lot of his issues were aligned, bro. And I'm not saying at 17, 18, he should have had a girlfriend. But what I am saying is from his freshman year to the year of him having a girlfriend, that girlfriend was the reason he got to college. And I'm pushing us to go, no, I ain't saying that, but we need to stop telling our youth to go grab bodies and look for a wife, yo.
And that's facts, bro, because that's a 1,000% facts, bro, because if you look at anything, man, anything you give to the right woman, she doubles it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's in that space, man, where like I said, I'm talking about Marcus Garvey, but in his book, he was saying that no good man is valuable alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the woman brings the value to you. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you hear the temperature of today's arguments, bro, it depletes all of that, man, because it puts you in the space of what you're supposed to do. No, way, like we know what the roles is. We know what the roles is.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but outside of the role, like, how do I know you here for me? And I think that's a lot part of the time, a lot of time for men, personally. I don't know about women. Now, women are validated, man, because at that age, like you said, we drag on them at a very young age to kind of get them into a space. But also during that time, women are pretty vicious for themselves in that time frame. You know what I'm saying? But when you find the right combination, that's when you sit back and think, like, bro, like, all right, what, like, you start thinking about, number one, I don't believe that you should date at a young age because they all like not date, in a relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that if you are getting a relationship, it should be exactly what it's for, is to find the one you want to spend the rest of your life with. So at that time, throughout your early years, you're spending that time courting, dating, feeling out, seeing what you like, learning yourself, learning other people, getting the experience and saying, I don't like this, I don't like that. But when you get into a space and when you're saying you're mine and I'm yours, you block and you minimize the growth in both of you, because now you're moving in a space of marriage and you're single. Now you're having obligations that married people have and you're single, and you're not really getting the full experience of your life. And for men, I think for us, bro, like, especially, there's a lot of us out here with the ambition to be a father at a young age. We just don't talk about it, right? And we have very valid reasons for doing so. But a lot of men don't understand. A lot of kids, a lot of boys aren't told, like, bro, like, I get that, but focus on your purpose. Focus on your career. Focus on figuring out how you're gonna get your bread, and focus on how you focus on who you are and how to love yourself first. Because a lot of us men go out here, man, we try to squeeze ourselves into a woman's life, knowing damn well that woman ain't meant for us. You know what I'm saying? But we need that love of whatever trauma we have experienced in our past, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need that, and we want to feel that from the person, from somebody, you know, from another opposite sex. And a lot of times you got to be careful, especially as men, man, today, because you hear a lot about deadbeat dads out here, bro. But there's a lot of deadbeat ass women out here, bro. There's a lot of women that move the same way men do when they savages, but they're looking for somebody to kind of pounce on and to get in that space, bro. And women know that the one way to get to any man is physically, especially a man of a weak man. You know what I'm saying? So, but then the part about it is that as a man, you fall into that, right? You walk blindly into that. You get the love. You fall. You open. You get your heart open. Your nose wide open, and then you get crushed by the wrong woman. And now you're afraid of love now, or you're afraid to put the type of time in somebody else because everything you see around you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But when you get to that space where you explain things truly and you explain leadership to a young man, like, bro, no, you got to get yourself together first because you're the leader. Yeah. And if you don't get your order right, it's not going to be order in any of your houses that you try to create because you're not in order with yourself. So you can have all the intention in the world, good intention in the world, but if you don't have this order, bro, you already putting you're already stacking the cards against you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what I say, bro? All right, yeah, you let us go. Y'all practice safe sex. Y'all get birth control, and y'all actually think about it, talk about a future together. But also sit back and see if this really who you want to be spending the rest of your life with. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think in the space, man, what we getting into now, man, where we are so stuck on, you hear the Hollywood marriages, bro, where these people are getting married for business deals, that you start to see the reflection of that in today's society as a whole. Marriages today are transactional. And it breaks my heart sometimes, bro. I watched a video one day. It came on my timeline. They were asking men and women, right? They were asking women first. They said, would you die for your husband? Right? They said, if it came down to it, would it be you? If it came down to it, would it be you or your husband? And every woman said that the man should die for her, right? But when you ask the men the series of the same question in the same video, every man said they would die for the woman. So when you hear that, it puts you in a space where you're like, damn, like, hold up, like, yeah, I'm listening to the reason that the men said, but then you listen to the reasons why the women said the man deserved to die first. It was so superficial. Oh, he should die because he's the man. Oh, I got so much more to live. I got so much more to this. It wasn't in a space of thinking like, okay, I die for you. You wouldn't die for me. Like, you really would have died. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you have that, when you start to notice that type of energy in this world, bro, you look back and you look and you start to see, like, you start to understand, like, the pain in this world, bro. Like, men walking in or somebody recording themselves, a woman recording themselves having sex with that side man that pissed that dude off in the military off to break his heart and crush him. This nigga kill himself. But you was being spiteful. So now that man into his life, you crushed him. You took everything he had. That was all he had. You. And now you gave that to some other man and ignorantly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but then that's just one side of it, bro. Like, hell has no fury like a woman scored. The problem is it don't take much to scorn a woman. You know what I'm saying? So I tell my kids that you have to treat the same way you can treat your mother treated, the same way you want your sister treated. Yeah, you're gonna go through a little phase out here. You can go through a little whole phase, right? But you don't have the luxury of knowing what's on the other side. You have the luxury of knowing what's on the other side of that whole phase. So how you gonna move? You gonna run crash out? Or you're going to handle your things the right way, the logical way, and the way of a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and I don't know if I got off track, bro, but it's in society, bro. We off, man. We argue about everything. We argue about who got it worse. Motherfucker, we all got it bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's to argue about? No, sister, I got you. I understand. It's hard for you. It's hard for me. How we going to make this shit work together? Because we ain't going to make it work arguing amongst each other.
Yeah.
All right, being a single father is hard. Being a single mother is hard. We both know that. But we ain't gonna make no progress arguing about who got it worse, dog.
Right.
Let's put together a plan for you to get your education, to get your progression, and you go ahead and bang that out. I'll support what I gotta do on this end. I'll grind it out for you. But when you get to that spot, please give me the same grace of getting myself together and getting to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to raise each other up. Ain't about, like, every argument now is who's bringing what to the table. You know what I'm saying? And then you missing what's actually at the fucking table to eat. So it's just not, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's depressing and it's scary, man, because I think one of the things, I don't want any of my kids to grow up in this space. I don't want my daughters to grow up in this space where they feel like they have to need a man. You know what I'm saying? Or they feel like they need somebody. I want my kids to experience love. You know what I'm saying? Pure love, pure genuine love of somebody wanting you there and you wanting to be there and them.
Yeah.
Anything that come with that will come with it. We'll eat it. You know what I'm saying? On my daughter, my son, to treat their girls like gentlemen. I talk to my kids all the time, especially my oldest son, about being like, dog, like, if you don't want to go ahead, and my little brother, like, dog, if you don't want, hey, dog, get up out of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got a lot of no woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, 9 times out of 10, if they want it, they're gonna go with it anyway. But don't lie, bro. Don't be deceptive. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, man, you get back to the end of the day of it, like, being a baby daddy, bro, being a good baby daddy should be, you know, at some point telling our young boys how to be that. And it's not being a baby daddy. The goal is to be a husband. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, you heard my rant.
You said, man, I mean, being patient. being patient, man. Like we gotta change the narrative, man. We can't keep on um allowing others in society kind of dictate it, yo. We gotta do it for the youth. And for me, and like you said, for you, yo, it's our responsibility to have these conversations. We are the men that was in those situations, yo. And
Yeah.
we, I always, and I could be wrong, I always just felt like the older generation was more looking like, yeah, like, why she, why? Oh, yo, we supposed to speak on that. Hey, like you said, man, nah, don't be doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I got cousins and them out here, like, yo, chill out, yeah, man, move
Yeah.
in. No, bro, that's not cool, bro. Like, no, like, and then now they look at you like, all right, like, I ain't telling you to commit to one woman, but don't play with all these girls like that, yo.
Exactly.
Don't sit here and tell me you got 2 girlfriends. Like, no, yo, that shit ain't,
Ain't cool.
the convos we need to have, because my generation was pushed on the same way everything else was.
Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna be honest with you, yo. I heard, oh, you find your wife in college, right? You hear that as a cliche, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times I heard, boy, you better get these fucking bodies up?
Yeah.
I heard that every day, yo.
Yeah.
But not once was, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you need to find a wife, boy. You better come home with a woman, boy.
Yeah. Start
Like
your
the whole,
fam like that. Start
yeah.
the foundation.
And we go back to you about manhood. That ain't manhood.
Nah.
Manhood is having good judgment.
Facts, bro.
We manhood. I'm trying, yeah. That's bad judgment, boy. That's bad judgment. You ain't even know, shorty.
Yep.
Being a man, good decisions and good judgment, dog. That's it.
That's
like,
it, bro.
And we getting taught. And I was telling people, I was taught how to be a man wrong. I was taught to be tough as a man. I was taught, get these bro. No, yo. Being a man is being able to turn down them bras. That's a tough decision. Being a man is being, man, that's what we got had them convos, yo. And that's what
being a man is like saying something attractive, saying something pretty, and not feeling like you have to have it, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean, bro?
And I was in college. I was playing, but I didn't know how serious. And I'm saying college because I was still young, right? I used to be like, man, I'm not getting married until I know if I'm around Rihanna alone, I ain't gonna do nothing with her. Yo, I didn't know how you get. That's immature, but that was kind of like legitimate to stick with.
That's legit, bro.
That's legit. Like I wasn't getting married until Paul knew that a woman. If I walk across a woman, now I feel like I'm there now. I know I'm there now. I go to a country, if I'm married, bro, I'm looking at her like, shorty, you about to fuck up everything I got. Like I know that now.
Yeah.
Like I ain't, because of what we talking about right here. I'm looking to build financially, spiritually. I ain't got time to be messing that up, yo. Look.
And when you handle that the right way, bro, it's less of a mental battle for you. It's easier for you. Now you don't have. Now you're not insecure about what you're not doing. You're sure about yourself. You're sure you did it right. Now when these adversities come, all right, it's an adversity. Let me just go ahead and handle that business now. You're not trying. You ain't rebounding from previous bad decisions. You just rebounding from this bad opportunity right here. You know what I'm saying? You ain't rebounding from something you created at 19. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I think you hit a lot of that on those, bro. And you're right, man. Like that's the part where we have to check in with these kids, man, especially these young boys, and make them understand, be responsible with their dingling. You know what I'm saying? Like
responsibility with the dingling, yo. That's real, bro. Like, man, we ain't doing it. Me and you are doing it. It's here now. And I want to bring back something you said earlier that we ain't really touched too. It's a lot of fathers in today's society, yo.
Yeah,
a lot, and we didn't. I wanted to speak on that, like me teaching, like I see myself every day. Hey man, let's keep this going. And he'll look at me crazy, and then when he look at my man, and I say that because I see it a lot, yo. Like I'm seeing, I walk to my car, street getting in the car with his son.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm at school. I'm calling home. I'm there. I'm ready to talk to a mother. It's daddy. Oh,
dad pop up on the phone.
You know what I mean? Like active, y'all. Like,
yeah.
If we can keep pushing it, I don't know why. And I ain't even trying to be funny. I said this like 5 years ago. I was like, yo, Pete, my oldest son was 2 or 3, and my youngest son was just born, and I'm like, yo, for some reason, it was like my generation. I'm on IG, like, they with their kids, like.
Yeah, bro.
I was just like, yo, I'm seeing a lot of men with, and I didn't know if it was a thing, but for you to speak on it, how we've been talking about it,
Yeah.
that's really making it be like, nah, it's not just a cliche, man. Like,
It's happening.
it's, oh,
But
it's
the media influence, people are getting worried. You see that, right? Because now what happened when you have the father, and when you have a father in vicinity of any space, bro, you ain't just impacting your son, bro. You impacting his homeboys too, dog. Because now he looking at you as, you know what I'm saying, like
the mentor.
it's the mentor part. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like you said, bro, like kids respond well to structure, dog. Like surprisingly well, if they respect you.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta respect them, and it's easy to get that respect. You gotta respect them. That's it. That's simple.
Treat them
bro,
just like, you know what I mean? Treat them like kids, not the kids we talk about. I'm saying respect, love, loyalty. Yo, that's kids. We don't, you know, we be, and I say adults look at it, yo, we look at it like, oh yeah, they don't got this, seems not to be heard. Bruh, put that aside, respect this kid, and we can go a further way.
we ain't go about your bed, bro. It's funny, and you see. I remember I was living on Washington Boulevard, bro. And my neighbor, man, them kids around the neighborhood used to give him the blues, bro. He used to ask him like, "Hey, Dad, yo, like how you get them off your steps?" He was like, he said, yo, somebody stole my wife's cell phone. I went around the corner and grabbed that joint from the Lord. The Lord dude gave it back. No argument. Yo said, hey, Dad, meet me around the corner behind the bar. First I was like, I ain't meeting you behind no bar, dog. But he was like, no, I'm gonna get it for you. Yo came back, gave me the phone. That day, my man on the porch, he was like, hey, Dad, how you do that, bro? He said, I went over there to go say something. They banked me. I was like, hey, bro, hey, dog, like, number one, like, what you say? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, how you say it? I joke with the kids in a way, man, but they also don't understand, like, I have boundaries with them. I'm a grown man. You a kid. I respect you. You respect me. We ain't got no problems. But if you come in a space, if you're a grown man, I ain't gonna give you the full energy of a grown man, but I'm gonna let you know you messing with a grown man. And if you bring grown man energy, bro, you better match that. Because I'm giving you the luxury of showing you, taking it off for you. You do that out here on these streets, dog, somebody gonna tear your head off and even look back twice.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so you get into that space, man, where like these kids, bro, these kids, especially the ones that we work with today, they yearning for something, bro. Yeah. They're so aggressive because they're yearning for something they know that there was out there, and they feel like we bullshitting them as a society. We feel like they feel like we dumbing something down for them, or they don't understand what time it is. But these kids know, bro. Like I say all the time, these generations have the fight in them that the men had in them back in World War I. What are they supposed to do with that energy? It's misguided and misdirected. These kids, you can't tell them nothing. You gotta prove and you gotta show them what they saying because they on top of it.
Yo, when I first started coaching, I told my man Forbes and hair back, and he was like, "Paul, you the one that said it." I was like, "Bro, they keep questioning." I was working out, right? Like, yo, they keep questioning stuff. I was like, in my time, and he in your age, but in my time, I'm telling him, my time and your time, Dave, we ain't asked coaches quite. We did what they said.
We did what they said.
I looked at my man and was like, I fuck with that though. He was like, what?
Yeah,
I'm like, bro, we need this in society today.
We need it. We need it.
So they question everything.
Yeah.
Take the COVID. Everything. Why? What COVID?
Exactly.
What COVID? Like, and I'm just using that as an example because how the world was. But yo, you right. And down south, the number one thing that this generation do that we can't do is they was telling me, it was like, you know what your father messed up on? It's like my grandparent when I was down there. I'm like, what? They was like, yo, they should have let y'all fight. They the knowledge. The older generation is the knowledge. The youth is the fight, bro. And it was basically telling me how we against each other. Why isn't the older people supporting, funding?
Grooming them up.
You're supposed to be funding, doing, hey, here's the facility, Paul. Hey, here's this, Paul. We got 100 chairs, Dave. Hey.
And then and we got the facilitator right here. We got the teacher right here. Yep.
We the ones that do. But, bro, we all got it mixed up, yo.
That's what I'm saying, bro. We out of order, dog.
We out of order. So we out of order, man. Like, that's why so much of all this, I say that experience or life experiences, I wish when I was growing up, I wish things were easier. I wish I got it good. But the first week in college, yo, when a lot of my friends were sleeping, I was the only one getting up for 8 o'clock class. I was like, oh, all right, God, I get it now. Every I went through, it had a purpose, yo.
Yeah.
And I mean, like everything. So just thankful, man. Just thankful for that, and just my drive today. But the youth, I'm just happy that they questioning everything. This is
Me
the
too,
reason
bro. Me
it's
too.
such an issue.
Because
And
the
we
one
ain't
thing we know, they gonna get better. They gonna try to figure things out like we all did. And when they do, bro, I can't wait to see that fight come, because that's gonna be the new Malcolm X's. That's gonna be the new Marcus Garvey's.
this generation, because see what we do, we have made them lazy, right?
Yeah, nice.
But what we don't know is they're smarter, bro. They're dealing with computers. They getting all this information way sooner than we ever could have had it, man.
Yeah. And
We
they're
just
not you see the older people falling for that dumb information, bro. These kids don't fall for that dumb information.
bro, that's why between me, I did that COVID thing.
Uh-huh.
They was the ones like, yo, now guess what my aunt told me.
What's
She was
that?
the one pushing for it. She mad that my grandmother died, her mother. She mad, but she was the one calling me, Paul, you can't come to my house if you don't got the COVID.
Bruh. You can't. They made you feel isolated. You couldn't give them a kiss. You couldn't. Hey,
Yo, but them youngsters, all you doing
none of that.
about COVID. Man, Paul, you believe in that? Mr. Tyler, we ain't taking that. Your arm gonna be gone. I mean, they playing these kids, but nah, yo.
It was on it, bro.
They know what they talking about, because see, and what we know, they don't be influenced yet.
Yeah.
Because they're so radical. Yo, when you young, you radical.
Yeah.
I'm going against all this shit. When we young, adults ain't know what they was talking about. We knew how the world worked, and let's be real, it's true. Who do we go to? I mean, hey, somebody help me with this Google form. Hey, somebody put this up on IG so I can post my class.
Yeah.
We going,
yeah.
You get me? Today is not what's about to be in 10 years, meaning this technology about to get suited up, and they gonna be one, in order for us not to stay dinosaurs, we got to get the information from them. In order for it, they got to get the information from us. That's what the system don't want, yo. That's why the system created society for everything to be out of whack.
Yeah.
Yo, that's why we get attacked as men mentally. That's why women are getting. It's like, because women under attack too, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Instead of everybody just knowing, like, no, this is the focus, yo. We let society focus everything. And it's crazy that I did the statistics. It was a video I posted back in like the 1960s, and a white woman was talking about child support, and it was speaking about in 1960, it said 86% women was raising a black man in the household.
Yeah.
And today I looked that up. I think it's 92 or 91 now.
Mm-hmm.
But bro, my biggest thing, and I'm gonna end it right here tonight. And we can elaborate on this. Women be like, yo, these niggas, and I'd be like, who raised them? Man, he at home with his mama. His mother. I said, sweetheart, you raised him. What? I said, listen. Women have more control in our society than we know, our black women, yo.
Yeah, facts.
Yo, I don't think that they are the ones that are forming the fucking future.
Yeah, they are. They give birth to it. They give birth to it.
All of the issues, when you just said it earlier into the podcast, you was like, yo, you can tell a young man that have a man in the household and the one that don't.
Yeah.
All this shit that's going on in our community, excuse my French, all this bitch ass stuff that's going on from these young men, it's because these women are coddling them.
Facts.
Letting them bring all these girls in here to fuck. Mothers smoking weed with their son.
Yeah, fine, yeah.
Not holding them accountable, so when they get 19, they ain't accountable. Yeah. But, it's diamonds in the rough. All I'm saying, that just go back to me saying, it's 50-50, but it ain't 50-50.
Yeah.
Because the government have given a woman the control. Yeah. And it's like, no, we don't get the control until I become 30 and married.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now we talking about 2% of our community, our culture, our race is being raised by the black woman.
Yeah.
Which means, sweetheart, all the problems that you're talking about, you're influencing them.
Yeah.
Because you're raising this young man. Mm-hmm. And the last thing in this, a mentor told me, he said, Paul, when you get your sons, let them stay kids. I said, what you mean?
Yeah.
And we was at a big park. We had like it was a mental health thing, a back to school thing. It was a back to school way, 500. And every female there that was like my age had their son dressed in Balenciaga, chain,
Yeah.
up on the wall like this, yo.
Put that foot up, bro.
Yo, this is why we over here can't even get our partners on the same page, bro.
Hey, bro, I seen something about that one day, man. So it was a meme. They was saying y'all out here got y'all kids dressing like the men y'all want.
That's it, bro. And we wonder why Lil Moo hustling. He trying to keep.
No, you wonder why that little motherfucker is a narcissist.
Exactly. And while now trying to have them discussions about redirecting, man. So
yeah.
the control, that's where the control of everything. And I don't want to go there. But bro, let's just be real, man. Like, I wish I had that much control of forming a society, yo. And it's unfortunate because some of the stuff that came up in that convo was, man, because niggas leaving and dudes laughing, dead beats, however, right? But we just got on that. Why? But yeah, yo, like, oh no, man, like
I agree with you, bro. I think I'm about to get right in and out. It's 1:44, hour 45. But I say every weekend, the title of the show give us the grace to go over because it's called The Talkative Thinkers. You know what I'm saying? The Loquacious Thinkers. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, but now you hit that on the point, bro. But I think the part where I'm going to bring home the title, man, is like we said earlier, is baby daddy or not, bro. Like, if you get to a space where we go back to where it's supposed to be, right? Where instead of asking who's protecting the black man, instead of asking who's protecting the black woman, it need to be back like it was in them civil rights photos where some pictures you seen the man in front and some pictures you seen the woman in front with their hand on the gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that way everybody's working in order. I got your back, I got your shit. I ain't gonna let nothing happen to you. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm down and be down, you stand over top like, nah, what's up? You know what I'm saying? So that we get back to that in all areas of relationship, bro. Like, I think that's when we'll stop hearing the chatter. But like listening to where things are like saying things. I got a friend of mine named Dr. Obari that I have on here sometime. Man, he's a psychologist he's a community psychologist out of Chicago. And a lot of things that he talk about, man, is based off of it's like an Afrocentric based type of knowledge as far as how he uses amongst mentoring black boys, as far as how he speaks on education, how he speaks on everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy has a PhD in clinical psychology, but after he got to where he was, man, he kind of got away from all of that Western philosophy. He understands it, but he understands that it's not that doesn't benefit our black kids or minority kids because it's not our culture. It's not it wasn't meant for us. You know what I'm saying? So, like, bro, like at the end of the day, man, like when I told you earlier, I was listening to Marcus Garvey, and I've been on my tip now for a minute as far as listening to it, just going back and listening to in detail a lot of what our civil rights activists were fighting for, and even the ones that we don't know, bro. The things that we're fighting for, it's not hidden. You know what I'm saying? It's the same stuff we fighting for today, bro. You know what I'm saying? And somehow it's gotten worse still. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the reason it got worse because we got away from the important things in life and everybody started chasing the bag.
Culture.
The culture. When you start chasing the bag, families started to fall apart because now you got different spaces of, all right, yeah, women had to go to work because the men weren't in the household, right? But then on the other side of it, it wasn't just because men left the household. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was some things put in place to kind of discourage men from being in the household. It was some obstacles put in there. All right, cocaine. Nobody want to talk about the crack era and how big of an impact that really was. You know what I'm saying? So instead of arguing, bro, like that's the part where, like we said earlier, where like we just need everybody got to be more patient, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we move into a space of society where we're getting away from, we're disconnecting from what we were created to do. And we're getting in this place where I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist or how they sound, but we're trying to make this matrix work and we're trying to manipulate nature. And the one thing you can't do, you can't manipulate nature. We're not that smart as human beings. We can't figure that out. And when you play around with it, you're going to get a result that's going to be detrimental to the entire world. You know what I'm saying? So it's in that space where I spoke about it on the last show, man. When now the projects, you understand why it was called a project, because that low ass project has now grown to the suburbs. And those same thing that they did in the projects, now they're letting spread out here in the suburban world. Now you had the crack epidemic was our thing, but now you have the opium pandemic, the opium epidemic. You know what I'm saying? But when we were saying it was an issue, they weren't worried about it because that's what was supposed to be happening. It was an experiment. It was to see what they can get done. And then they're doing it on a larger scale. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, we take these conversations deep. We bring them back every now and then. But, bro, I appreciate your transparency, dog. All these conversations are when you go back and look at the whole of the channel, you kind of see that mental illness may not be a mental illness, bro. Like it may be something a lot deeper. It may be something that we're intentionally dealing with, especially when you look at how the mental health field is starting to grow in the way people talk about it. Very few people have a physiological mental illness. Very few people have a pathological mental illness. A lot of this stuff now, as we see, is built off of insecurities, not knowing who we are, not knowing like going through adversity, trauma induced, environmentally induced. Like you don't need medication for that. You need to what the source is. You know what I'm saying? As a man, yes, it's hard. You did, bro. You ain't depressed, dog. You ain't depressed for no reason. You depressed because something in this universe is pulling at your soul, and you're feeling like you're not being that maximum, the best of that. You're not even pursuing it. Now it's your job to figure out where that disconnect lies at. You know what I'm saying? Man, I know it's past your bedtime, dog. I'm gonna go ahead and get up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, bro, I enjoyed the conversation, man. I appreciate the transparency, dog. We're gonna get over here and we're gonna run deep and run it back. You know what I'm saying? Get a little deeper into it. You got anything you want to close out with?
Yeah, I mean, I think I did with the
last joint.
That 92%, yo, I ain't gonna lie, yo. I really am looking into that, yo. That's something I'm looking into. It was one of the main things I took back from North Carolina. The family structure. That's what you, and it's funny, that's exactly where you was.
Mm-hmm.
Like family structure, yo. Black families, that class really opened my eyes up to a lot, yo. And that's it. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. I appreciate the platform, and I appreciate you having me on today, man. We've been bringing this. You've been talking about it, man. So
we talked about it for a minute, right? It's been like a good 4 months.
Anybody listen or seeing it, they gonna see that baby daddy, like you said, because I look like okay.
Now you said he was like, let's go.
yeah, we unravel, man. I like what you did, so I appreciate that, Dev, and man, you did a good job tonight, man.
I appreciate it. You did too, bro. I'll get that with you later on in the week, though, bro. Huh?
Yes, sir. We're gonna chop it up, man.
All right, dog. I'm about to go ahead and take you out.
Yes, sir. I have a good.
Right. You too, dog. All right, man. Thanks for joining us tonight. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hopefully, we got something out of that. It was just raw conversation with my man Paul. I appreciate him for coming through, man. And I appreciate the level of transparency, the hard work that man doing in the community, man. And hey, anybody, I told this platform is not for me. Like this platform is for everybody around me that I know that are doing amazing things, bro. Like I'm not nowhere near where these folks are, man. And a lot of people have been in a place doing things a lot more at a deeper level than where I am, and I just want to be able to support them and bring whatever they're doing to light, man. And while we're battling this stigma on mental health and mental illness, especially within the minority community, trying to get these kids and these men from killing themselves. So I'll see y'all on Thursday, man. Thursday topic is called Out of Order. The title of it, the topic is Out of Order. We're talking about relationships, marriage, any way you can spin it, and how this can be a negative impact on your mental health and mental illness. You know what I'm saying? And try to give effective, suggestions on how to manage and handle it. You know what I'm saying? So everybody have a good night. I'll see y'all on Thursday.